All right, this is going to be yeah, basically fresh charting for well, today is the 30th of March, but and then charting for tomorrow. I already did this recording once, but I forgot to save it, and then I forgot to save the layout with all the updated charts. So when I closed TradingView, I lost everything. So anyways, I guess we'll just be going through it again. So anyways, 6 month time frame. We've been monitoring both of these um, on the indices. So basically, currently, if we just take the current range that we've been monitoring on the higher time frames right here on the 6 month, right? If we just look at this expansion, previous low that was manipulated with the correct PO3 to current range high, right? Same thing here. Obviously, this high was manipulated with the correct PO3, so we use this soup and soup, right, to get EQ of X range, right? Same thing right here on ES, right? Looking for gaps, right, at EQ or in discount. Obviously, with the 6 month time frame, we don't currently have that here. But you can see, right, if we are just reading price action, and I've talked about this before, right? Even if we start down, down here, we end up building, right, this series of down closed candles and this one here, right, that ends up getting closed above. That'll be help. Boom. There you go. What's up, bro? Um, right. So we end up getting this down close, right? Same thing here. That ends up getting closed above. So we get this order block that price ends up digging into that's used to then expand away. And that was where we were currently dealing with price before this move that we had. So if we that was right rebalance point for the 6 months. And then I personally have been discussing and monitoring this quarterly. Let me take this off real quick and then pull up the chat. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the down close, right? Yeah, the bearish closure, dude. The down close. Yeah, so I was monitoring on the quarterly, right? I've been monitoring this range here, right? To see where the potential rebalance point was. And initially in last week I had marked out this BISI right here on all these assets here, right? And I was saying to see if we were going to hold, um, right, hold within this, and then we ended up not, right? And then why? Because YM obviously still needs to come where to, right, discount, and this gap is the only gap in discount, right? So obviously, if YM is going to need to continue lower to rebalance, and it's the leading asset, it doesn't matter that this 3 month BISI gets invalidated, because this is going to be the leading asset. And then furthermore, if we zoom down to the monthly and we monitor the monthly range, let's just get rid of this real quick, right? We can see, right? We can see it's the same thing. Like if, right, here's X range, right? This is the most recent expansion move, right? Okay. And then prior to this monthly candle being created, right? If we look, right? And this we goes back to just the framework and the logic for the model, right? Back to G's, like EQ of X range. It's like the golden rule, right? So if this is X range, right, we can't expand, right, without rebalancing to that. And so we look here, and then we look to find what PD arrays or gaps that are resting in discount, right? And so even though that quarterly gap's up here, we look at this, right? This happens to be the only gap in discount, right? And so then we can look here and say, okay, there's this monthly gap here, right? So, like I said, I wasn't on or looking at taking trades. I've been a little hands off because I was busy the last week or so. But, this now potentially, and I was looking. Oh, hold on real quick. Let's see what. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it working? Yeah, I am, but is it working? Okay, sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am. Yeah, this all will go on the YouTube. Um, so anyways, so now, right, so this is what I was looking at earlier, is now we currently have SMT with the August like monthly candle, right? So we currently have a situation going on like this. And potentially what's interesting about this is this could potentially also be like GXT, right? Like gap fill SMT, right? Where one asset, right, reaches the gap and then and moves into it and the other doesn't, right? And then we get the SMT, right, with the gap fill. Um, because obviously you can see with YM right now, we did not and have not entered this gap, this PD array, right? So now, depending on what happens with price, right, do we stop here with the gap fill SMT, right, and then continue, at least a rebalance now in the opposite direction. It really just depends where price wants to go, this week. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, well, anyways, like I was saying, we'll see what happens with price. News wise, what we had Powell spoke today, and then tomorrow we have what 7 a.m. jobs, and then we have what non-farm Wednesday. Red folder all week. Maybe we'll get like a nice 2610 setup tomorrow, or not. Who knows? But okay. Now I gotta go back and do all this, so we might as well get going on this, which obviously is the most boring part, but that is okay. Let's go into here. Do. I cannot believe it didn't auto. I mean, I turned off autosave, but I can't believe it. Should have paid more attention to that. Oh well, it's all good. Yeah. What's up? Yeah, go for it. Well, I can, yeah, I'll look at it, and then if it's applicable, otherwise I can answer it after. Uh, and previous week EQ, and then also I also measured. I'll get to it. You guys do anything good for this weekend? Okay, so we got previous week EQ, and then also something I was monitoring earlier. Check this out. If we just pull normally I'll pull just the body. But if we pull body with the lower wick, I mean, at least here on NQ, it seems to validate a rebalance to EQ. Yeah, I'll check it out after. So anyways, I was monitoring. I wanted to see how price was responding here. But since I didn't save the stupid, this was that makes sort of sense. We'll just run with that. Weekly lower wick plus body, yeah. Take it. Oh, let's zoom in on that. Face this guy. All right, so that's weekly. Weekly, got that. Weekly. Let me put in. Yeah, okay. Cool. Now let's go do my dailies. Why is the oh sorry. There we go. There we go. Daily. Let's see here. I could do the same thing on daily, but then it'll get a little. I feel like it'll be a little cluttered. Okay, I'll do this. Nice. Okay. So now, yeah, it's interesting because like with just this such aggressive move, it's like in terms of reading price, like there's nothing to really like read here on the daily. Okay, so what was this today? So yeah, this was today. So what? We just like created a 4 hour. So now we have this 4 hour SMT, right? Yeah. 4 hour SMT in a gap, right? Just 4 hour CSD, but who cares about that? I'm more interested in how YM's going to respond here. Also, take. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it'll, and also in the morning, depending on what happens in the overnight session. Some nice little. I'll take like a protected swing down here with some like expansion situation. But whatever. I'm not going to speculate that far into tomorrow. So currently, this is where we're sitting, right? Let's just clean this up so I can get the screenshots. SMT there. We're about to have two double SMT. Uh, Monthly. All right. I feel like these are a little far given. Oh, let's just make it like fix this so I can get the recording done, and then I'll answer your question, or I'll look at what you're saying. Kind of, yeah. Be interesting to see. We got this What is this? We got this daily. Oh, this is at Civi, yeah. All right, let me screenshot this guy. All right. All right, let me stop this recording.